All right, thank you for skipping ahead, or if you're watching this live, thank you for waiting 2 days, because I'm going to be posting it every other day. So thank you for waiting 2 days for the second half of the Hoh Rainforest Talkie Hikey videos. Today's video is going to be on the Spruce Nature Trail loop, which is the loop that goes along the Hoe River. There was a long exposure I took when I was out at the river itself. It's 20 minutes or so, 17 minutes or so. Serena did not come along with me for this one. She stayed in the car to stay warm after lunch. So I am on my own hiking through the rainforest in the snow. Thank you for joining me.
Well, lunch is over. I gave Sabrina the option of coming with me or staying in Rex, and not too surprisingly, she decided to stay in Rex, so I'm going to do the Spruce Nature Trail by myself, which is fine. That means I can stop more often if I want to. This bridge is usually pretty good at seeing salmon. You can hear those bald eagles harassing each other. There's a dip over harvesting salmon eggs. And there's a carcass there. I think I hear salmon splashing under the bridge. Maybe not. Hoping to get some salmon on camera. But they're just being hard to get, little buggers, this time around. That's annoying. Anywho, up the Spruce Nature Trail we go. The highlight of this one, it's unlike going to that grove of big leaf maple trees with the moss all over them. This goes along towards the Hoe River and bounces along the river for a little bit. It's 1.2 miles versus 0.8. There's the Hoe River Trail entrance there. Glacier Meadows, sorry. I was calling it Glacier Basin or Alpine Meadows or something along those lines. Glacier Meadows is the base camp, 17.5 miles one way, so on and so forth. But that is not our destination. Hopefully sometime in the future, when it's not so cold and snowy out. Think warm June, July, August, September. Hopefully at least Nash and I will be back, and we'll go up the Hoe Trail a ways. But me going by myself, A, I'm not going to do anything dumb, duh, but B, this might mean if I find a nice spot along the river, take some video, I can take some extended length of video and not have to worry about keeping someone entertained. Plus, Serena said her fingers and toes never really got warmed back up, and it was starting to do some slushy precipitation, and she doesn't like being out in the snow, so she wasn't going to go anywhere. I think I'll let this run for a while. Might as well. I don't have to. I'll shut my yap up. You can enjoy listening to my rubber boots slosh through the snow in the rainforest. Sorry, thought just popped in my head. But I'm talking about protecting the park being created in part to protect the trees. It really is true. In the opening line of the declaration for the national park back in 1938, it was said for the original sole purpose of protecting the old growth rainforests. Ooh, pretty foggy shot in the snow. One very tall, lone Sitka spruce. Anywho, protecting the old growth rainforests, of which there are 4, going from south to north. There is the Quinault, the Queets, the Hoh, that's spelled H-O-H, and then the Bogashiel, which is the next river system north of here. And to protect the Roosevelt Elk that reside in these rainforests. Now, what's so special about the Roosevelt Elk, you might ask? Well, they're frickin' monsters. They're like almost moose size. These things are noticeably larger than their regular Rocky Mountain brethren. It's almost like comparing a crow to a raven. Yes, they're both black, smart birds in the same family, but one's frickin' huge compared to the other. And they live only on the peninsula, and they love these old growth forests. So much so that out of the estimated 3,000 to 4,000 elk that live on the Olympic Peninsula within the national park, as much as 500 of them live in the Hoh Valley alone. Oh, this is gonna be a long video. Oh well. Leave a comment down below if you like the longer hikey videos or shorter hikey videos. If you want the hikes, no matter what the length of the hike or waterfall hunt or whatever, to stay under 10 minutes, or if the more eye candy and the more my blabbling, the better. As long exposures aren't going to change. I'm going to keep putting those up, no matter how much. That looks like a big bear dump. Anywho, I'm going to keep putting up the long exposure videos, no matter if y'all like them or not, because they're just as much for my entertainment as yours. I put them on a TV, use them as background noise when I'm like reading or doing some sort of project or something. Just enjoy. Like this, I'll be watching this when it's 100 frickin' degrees again in June next summer, and so on and so forth. I think we might be getting decently close to the river. Alright, so I believe I am just about to reach the river. I can hear it in the distance, and here's another absolutely gorgeous example of a big leaf maple covered in moss. And all this wet snow recently brought down all these branches and things, because unlike a whole lot of other places, when it snows in the Pacific Northwest lowlands, like in Seattle and such, it's not dry, poofy stuff. It's wet, dense, sloshy, sloppy stuff. We affectionately call it cascade concrete. And it wrecks when it does come down. When we get snowstorms in Seattle, it brings down trees and power poles by the dozen. It just messes things up. And here comes the mighty Hoe River. Born at 7,000 feet out of the Blue Glacier on the shoulder of Mount Olympus, takes 50 river miles to make it down to the ocean. It is gorgeous. I think I'm gonna go hang out over here for a little bit. And on these gravel bars, in years past, I've seen herds of elk numerous times, and even a bobcat hanging out on a gravel bar. This is a cool place to be. Nobody's here in the wintertime. Why? Because it's freaking cold and rainy. And that's why I love it, because there's nobody here. Now, I'm not saying this is when you need to come, because it's cold and rainy. It takes a special kind of stupid to enjoy this, but I do. Most people show up in the summer. It's like a nice, balmy 65, 70 degrees. Not this dum-dum. This dum-dum shows up when it's cold. Because this is what the Pacific Northwest is really about. A wild, glacier-fed river with salmon swimming in it. Centuries, sometimes thousands-year-old evergreen trees. The biggest elk on the continent. And it's cold and wet and precipitating. And that's what I love about it. All the different layers of grays and greens and blues. It's what gets me excited. I'll shut up now and enjoy the river for a little bit. Probably get a long exposure too. Another massive spruce tree. Anywho, I took my 20 minutes of solitude, of peacefulness along the river, got a recording out of it. So now I suppose I'll head my way back to Munchkin. The fog, the weather is rolling in. I believe the temperature feels like it has dropped. It feels like it's gotten a little colder and a little damper. So we'll record another minute or two of this. Massive root ball. Yum. We'll record another minute or two of hiking along a snowy rainforest trail. And then hopefully I'll be able to get some video of salmon going up the creek. Somebody's dog maybe. There's not supposed to be any dogs on these trails. Actually, no, that looks like bun or small or decent sized deer prints. Those look like hoof prints. Never mind, that's probably a deer. Not an elk, but a deer. And anywho, get another video, get another minute or two of hiking through this snowy rainforest. Hopefully get a little video of some salmon swimming up the clear blue stream, and then we'll head back to Claylock, which is where we've been staying this whole time, which is where I always like to stay. The cabins are nice, the restaurant is top notch. There's a whole bunch of beaches, there's miles and miles of beaches with easy access. See, here's a classic example. You got, the nurse log is almost gone, it's been here for so long. It's all the way down, and all these trees are in a line, growing on top of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or so of them. And that used to be a very large log. But over the decades, it's slowly rotted and disintegrated into nothing as those massive trees grow up around it. .3D stick vision. Moss. Alright, enough of the dumb special effects. Looks like somebody's dog prints, maybe some bunny prints. coming up to a creek with a bridge on it. It looks like there might be enough water for some salmons to be playing in it. Hoping when I go across I spook someone and get to see it. So let's see. Looking upstream or downstream? Let's try upstream. Maybe there ain't enough water. If there's any salmon, I would think they'd be hiding either under the bridge or under that log there. I mean, this is the same creek where they're all congregating on further down a little bit. We gotta cross this bridge again, so there should be someone in here. Oh, I hear someone. I see some ripples being made a little further downstream. So nobody's hanging out in this hole at the moment. But I definitely heard some suspicious noises up here. Let's see if we can't find none. And of course get distracted by the big trees everywhere. Oh, yep, I just heard someone again. Oh, I see a tail. So you got that. Oh, fuck. Nope, it's gonna go into the log. Oh, here it comes. Dang it, there they go. You see that? See all of that? That's what I was hoping to get. Almost tempted to follow them upstream. I don't see anybody else holding here. Oh, someone's still hanging out underneath the log. Oh, there they are again. Right there underneath the flag. That's what we're looking for. We want more of that action, please. Let's see if we can go find some more of that action. Of course, there was water droplets on the camera during the most exciting part. But oh well. As long as the GoPro doesn't die. Huh! These logs are completely cut. When I was a kid, this log was still connected and you could walk underneath it. Oh well, times change. I'm sure they're gonna need to cut it eventually. Well, there's a dipper hanging out, eating some salmon eggs. I might not be able to see him. But let's see if we can find some actual salmon eggs. Oh, scared the dipper off. Oh well. We'll just mosey on down to a different spot and grub. Damn. This looks like a very suspicious hole. I don't even see anybody hanging out underneath the logs. Dang it. This would be a perfect spot to watch a salmon cruise on by. There's nobody even hiding underneath the ferns over there either, or nothing. Dang it. If I had a tripod though, I'd set up and take a long exposure right here. That would be cool. Oh, there's a wren. Move on to the next spot. Glad we got a little bit of salmon action, but I want more. I'm greedy. That's why I stood in the Skagit River for Lord knows how long back in October, having the salmon swim around me. There's a carcass there, right there. But again, nobody in this spot either. This is another real good, easy spot to see. Oh, there's somebody cruising over there. Let's see, he's gonna have to go through that ripple. Right there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Parked himself there. Oh, he's moving up further. Trying to keep it on it. And he's in a deeper part, but we're gonna scoot over here to see if we can... Oh, there's his tail of someone sticking out under the log there. I want to see if we can get this guy as he comes up, too. There's still one. There's his tail flicking underneath there. Oh, there's a couple of them now. There he goes. So I haven't gotten any video of it, but we saw a big herd of elk on the road in. Seen salmon. Hopefully the bald eagle is noticeable in the long exposure I took of the river earlier. Not this one, but the other one from planting the camera on the hood of Rex. Oh, there's a little bird. I was about to go down that trail and go look for some salmon. There's bird right there. Try not to piss him off too much. Now what would be a money shot is getting a salmon going over that. That would be an absolute money shot. I don't see anybody in this riffle attempting to do just that. Bird barking at me. That would be the money shot. Of course, there's another carcass there. I've seen river otters in this creek once, in all the times I've been here. And I'm sure they're always here, they just don't let themselves get noticed by people. Which, you know, I don't trust most people either, so. Salmon got no choice, they got one thing on their minds. Just how pretty is this creek? Like, I'm hoping this looks good, as good on laptops and moderately sized TVs as it does to my eyeballs now, because this is legit one of my most favorite places to be. I love being in this rainforest, especially when there's some salmon squeaking up these creeks. Now, of course, there's all the salmon in this creek, and there's bound to be tens of thousands going up the Hoe. But you can't see that. The Hoe is all cloudy, as you saw. So this is the place where to see them. Or 3D Moss Vision. Go over this bridge one last time. Oh, we still might have a ways to go to get to the bridge. And the GoPro's about to die. Ooh, I gotta walk fast. Of course, I might edit a bunch of this out too. Oh, I think this is the trail junction, which means the bridge is gonna be right there. Tiny creek. I'd be very surprised if there was a salmon in here. Would be kind of hilarious though. Yep. Here's the trail intersection. Don't die on me yet, GoPro. Although I suppose if the GoPro dies, I can just take video on one of the phones. I'm sure I'll trim a lot of this down because this is a solid 25 or 30 minutes of video probably. See, I think I'll just turn the GoPro off. Got a time lapse going on my personal phone on the tripod, but I heard some splishing and I saw a couple of salmon coming up. So we'll see if they gone away. There you go. We did make it out before. Three salmon coming through here. I believe there's a fourth one right there. case you're wondering. The little sparrow's like right there, making all that noise. There he is. I really need a tripod. I'm going to stand here and hold the phone at chest height to get decent downward look. So that'll be it for today's video. Thank you for joining us in the Hoh rainforest with the snow. Of course, she didn't go because snow scares her. It's so scary, it's so scary. But anyway, there should be 2, maybe 3 different long exposure videos to go up with some salmon and then, you know, the river and the snow, yada, yada, yada. I thought it's pretty. Let me know how you think down below. Give a like, subscribe. Thank you. Join us again next time. Ciao.